All right, folks, I'm back. This is Bryant. I am here going through my daily check-in for to build 8 apps in 2026. That's going to be my goal this year. One of the apps you see right in front of you called Daypath. I use this in order to plan out how I accomplish that goal and whatnot. So like I said, here in front of you is the homepage for Daypath, and it kind of goes through that whole process, right? Here's that final destination. I made some of these changes yesterday. You can check out yesterday's video to see that. But here's your final destination. The next landmark here is documenting the AI prompt and workflow for speed, and essentially really the process as a whole of like that product development process. That was my priority yesterday. I wasn't able to do it. We did complete a couple things yesterday, though. Down here, we did fix that plan regeneration bug. So one of the new, um, I guess, features I just integrated into this platform was, after a certain period of time, it's going to ask you on your next login if you've missed a number of landmarks or milestones kind of coming up into your goal, if you want to regenerate that plan using the same goal, or do you just want to create a new goal and then help you kind of start that process right off? So I think that's pretty cool. I was able to dive into the Quizify product that I purchased before, and I kind of like got the first funnels together, but they're not polished at all. I'll be going through and kind of polishing those up today just to see like, okay, how to from an entry point standpoint and where the customer is, whether it be an ad or whatever, how are they getting to that funnel in the first place? Like what context do they have? And then what is the funnel trying to accomplish? And then if there's a lead magnet or anything like that, that's going to be the thing that they're going to get out of it, right? So, and then from that point, obviously, you kind of go to the product itself. So, I think the big thing here is like, how do I develop that, that audience? How do I develop that group of individuals where that email list, so I can start bringing people in and start communicating about what Daypath can do for them, right? And the idea is that we create this in a structured way to where it's repeatable. I can do it with the next app and the next app after that, right? So, and then lastly, I cleaned the garage. So I did these two things, did my daily check-in, and then from that point came in, went outside, cleaned the garage, had to do a whole bunch of stuff there. It pretty much wiped me out, right? But I do on the end of it have a nice area inside my garage where I can chill and catch the breeze and stuff like that. So that was pretty successful. But again, I was wiped out, so I wasn't able to kind of get to the other things on my list. So let's jump in today's check-in and kind of go through that process. Again, it's Friday, April 10th. And every single check-in starts with yesterday's reflection, right? So again, I typically go through this so we don't have to spend a whole bunch of time kind of writing things down. But today mood was good, or energy was good. I have to update that, by the way. And I completed 3 tasks. And then yesterday's summary. It's impressive how much you tackled yesterday, from squashing that plan regeneration bug to clearing out the garage, all while feeling a bit zapped. It sounds like those warm walks are really paying off for you. Steady energy. Um, I'm so glad you made it to your son's track meet. What a great way to top off a productive high mood day. All right, going to the next one. All right, so change was, before again, I talked about it yesterday a little bit, but this used to be a mood board or a mood sentiment analysis. Now we changed over to energy based on some feedback that I got from some of those AI personas. So here, my persona today is steady and calm. I'm like in between steady and calm and running low, right? So it says your energy coach. It's wonderful to see that you feeling so grounded and centered today. You have maintained a very consistent streak of high energy lately. So try and use this calm moment to prioritize one meaningful task before your next surge. I think that's good. All right, so gratitude. So a part of this, again, it's the 6 steps that you go through every single morning, and just like kind of like keep you on task and keep you on track, right? So this one here is gratitude. So I think it's always good just to be thankful for things. Like yesterday, for example, I'm actually grateful that I was able to clean up the garage. Also cleaned up the backyard a little bit in the gazebo because our gazebo. We had storms recently, and it kind of like tore off the roof, so I was able to kind of clean up some of that mess. Um, and then tomorrow, I get to take my daughter to her first college visit. You know, for her kind of seeking out what college she wants to go to. She's about to be in 11th grade next year, so that's pretty exciting. All right, moving on. All right, so now the fourth step here is always about the daily journal, right? So the daily journal, what it does essentially is you're just kind of like you can have the ability to speak it, or you can obviously type it. Now, every single time you hit this page, it'll give you three different prompts, right? So three different prompts are typically down here. You select one, it comes up to the top, and then you can see and you can start writing to it. So this one here is like just saying like, how does reaching your goal of 8 revenue generating apps change your daily life? And to me, it's world changing, right? Like if you can get to that point of start developing 8 apps that are generating revenue on a monthly basis or annual basis, you just become so much less reliant on a 9 to 5, right? So like to me is I think is life changing when it comes to that. Obviously you see people get doing, 20, 30, 40, 50K MRR, which I know it's changing their lives, right? So that to me, I think it's something to definitely reach for. So yeah, and to me, that's how I think it changes my daily life. It may do different things for you. Okay, so the fifth step in here is always about your task, right? So I did have a few carry over. I did add a couple this morning, develop funnel sequence to lead magnet, and then creating some lead magnets. Now, each one of those buckets that we had before is going to have a different lead magnet, right? So, for example, somebody that is essentially stuck in their journey and they don't know how to move forward may have a lead magnet that's telling you how can you get unstuck, right? How can you start to dive into the things that are like affecting you internally that's preventing you from moving forward. Others may say, when it comes to they're just too busy. Here's how you can kind of start prioritizing the things you have going on and start doing one thing a day, right? And to make progress on your goal. So that's what I'm kind of thinking about right now. But yeah, so these are gonna be some things that we're gonna create today, that can be lead magnets, and kind of go from that point. Now, what it does in this sixth and final step, it actually goes through and again, this is going to be what I focus on today because I'm going to go through and document that process, including the AI personas and things of that nature when it comes to doing those user interviews, then actually getting out and doing real life interviews and things of that nature, right? So I'm going to start writing that up today. I think this could be very, very helpful when it comes to making this process a little bit more repeatable, even though I haven't monetized the app yet, right? So, but I think the process and I can make iterations to the process as we go along. But yeah, I think this is gonna be very, very helpful when it comes to doing that in a systemized way. So we're gonna keep that as the number one priority today. And then I think that may be all we have. So here's what our full day looks like now. We have these we're still working on this week 4 milestone, even though we're not quite there. I think we're gonna make a lot of progress here and kind of getting to that point. And then here's the rest of the task for today. And then obviously we're still 25% of the way done in Q2. So when it comes to the task assigned. Now, once May comes, we'll be going through and building that third app, right? So right now we're not there yet, but we're going to be building that third app and kind of going from that point. All right. If you're interested in this type of content, remember Daypath is an app that really focuses on helping you accomplish your annual goals, right? So, in this case, kind of getting you to that final destination. It maps out the path for you in quarterly and monthly and weekly milestones or landmarks for you to kind of say, hey, I'm on the track in order to get to the goal that I want to accomplish by the end of the year. And you can check it out today. So go to daypathapp.com and join the fun. All right, this is Brian again. If you're interested in this content, please subscribe, and then I'll catch you on the next one. All right, bye.